So to orient you, where you see that magnificent sundial sketch, that is the new rear of our building. Currently, that would be the urban recycle garden that was supported here by the community many years ago, and which will continue in new ways in our new facility. So this is where the new addition is going to be, and remarkably, it fits, and it's going to be a fantastic 75-seat theater. This gives you a little bit more of a sense of where it is. So the hot pink lines are the elevators of the building. So you came in through that first elevator. The second elevator is going to be a new addition. Everything that is in yellow is the new addition, to give you a sense. You can see the dome portion there and the staircase that's in there. So it's 3 stories. Soon you're going to be able to enter through the front of the building, come in, and I'll show you renderings that'll show you right from the Science on a Sphere Hall into the new theater area. There'll also be a beautiful rear entrance, so you'll walk in from Hine Street, there's an elevator, and you'll go upstairs and be able to move into the Dome Theater access from that way as well. The new addition is also going to have a great new gorgeous entrance with exhibit space, a new elevator, as I mentioned, as well as a warming kitchen, so we'll be able to have a first floor warming kitchen to have events in the first floor space and upstairs. That would be great to facilitate hosting events with food and throughout the building. Now here's some additional facade renderings as well. And apologies to our neighbors who are not here right now. Those white boxes are really beautiful buildings also. Easton Go Ahead and the old Easton Upholstery building under renovation, but we're focusing on ours for the moment. And so you can see that this is really going to transform the alley. It is going to have a beautiful brick facade with a functioning sundial. So we're all going to have to learn how to read sundials, but it's going to take advantage of that fantastic southern sun that we have there. And the sundial we really liked. Our architects talked with us about what kind of iconic imagery could we put on the outside of this. And we love the sun because it connected us to both earth and sky, right? It pointed us to the time that we're living here on the earth and also put our eyes up sunward. And so I think it's a really beautiful symbol of the full spectrum of what we'll be able to do. There's a recessed area you see there in glass that's going to create a place where we can seat. And our architects have explained that it's going to capture the warm sun in winter and warm up that area to seat, and it's going to shield us from the hot summer sun. So those people who are used to coming out back of nurture nature and sitting and reading a book, and we have lots of that here, we're not going to lose that feature, and it's going to be quite beautiful and continue to serve our neighborhood very well that way. Everyone's riding bikes on Pine Street in these renderings. So we got lots of bike riders coming by. I like that future-looking vision for the city. This gives you a sense of it. The rear access will now be at the lower right-hand side, currently it's currently at the left-hand side. Here's a close-up rendering of the brick, which will have some three-dimensional features to it, and has been really carefully designed by the architects. I love what they're doing with that. Another little bit of a close-up. And here's a sketch version that again gives you a little bit of perspective over on the left-hand side about the access point that you'll be coming from what is currently our parking lot into this area. Next, I'm going to show you the inside, showing the new exhibit and common areas. So as you walk in the front door, you'll be greeted with a new exhibit space, and that woman is staring at a wall that has a fabulous exhibit on it. We just haven't created yet. But that's what's going to be happening. We'll be able to have some new displays there. We'll have a multi-purpose entryway that will allow us to greet guests and also have rotating exhibits in there. I mentioned the kitchen, so you'll walk in there. For those of you trying to figure out how is this connecting to the existing building, so these two archways, if you've been in our first floor theater room where we have large-scale art exhibits, at the back of the building, that's what used to be the Strand Theater. At the back of that, before the addition, there's these two archways. Our architects have saved those. That is the demising wall for the construction, however. Everything behind those is disappearing. So once you walk past that wall, all the rest of that, which is not architecturally important, is just brick, is going to be removed, but they're going to keep those, and that will be the connection. So you'll be able to walk in the back door and walk straight through the building, come to the front entrance and see Liesl as you always do. There'll be nice connectivity there, and that might help a bit to understand how it's connected. And then as you're leaving, this is the perspective of leaving the exhibit area from the first floor and heading out. On the third floor, this is the connection. So those of you who are very familiar with our building, which I think is many people here, the Science on a Sphere Hall, those folks are seated in the chairs at the Sphere. They're watching Jeff and Henry and our docents on the Sphere, and one we haven't hired yet, they've got there. But they're watching the docents there. There will be some kind of a barrier that will shield but allow for transition to the third floor lobby. And that is how you will access the space between the Science on a Sphere Hall and the Earth and Sky Dome. Once you get into the lobby way, you'll be greeted with a holding area that looks something like this. And this will also be a prime place for exhibits. It will enter you through what our architects call a sound and light lock, so that the Dome Theater area itself is kept dark and sound and light controlled because it has incredible surround sound technology, incredible projector technology. Jamie and I had the opportunity to go tour a couple of spaces and get into the details of the projectors, and the staff went down to Liberty Science Center to see what they have. And so those areas are kept separate through a sound and light lock that you'll transition into. You'll wait in the lobby and go in and get to see one of our docents on our beautiful dome. Here's a pretty cool perspective of it from an architectural rendering that helps you to see how it is put together. And here's an idea of what the interior will be like. It's going to be elegant, it's going to be intimate, it's 75 seats. It's going to continue to feel very much like the kinds of presentations you get at Nurture Nature Center already. Our design consultants have explained that the way that they raked the seating, you'll be able to make eye contact with the presenter wherever you are and have conversations. So this will not be an anonymous experience, but it'll be very much a live interactive experience with docents who are there, and also have the capability of showing some incredible automated movies when we want to do that, and films when we want to do. So you're used to coming to Nurture Nature and getting taken on a journey with our docents here, and that's going to continue. Here you can imagine that we're going to have some imagined and some fact-based journeys, getting visions of things and worlds beyond what we have seen before. We'll be able to showcase Easton environment and capture local film and get it up there, but we'll also be able to go to the extremes of the universe. We'll be able to be talking about black holes and backyard puddles all at the same time, which is pretty amazing. We'll be able to go to the bottom of the ocean, oceans on other planets. Earth topics are all available to us here. So meteorology and climate and geology and biology and ecology are all things we're going to be able to show. Also chemistry, physics, math, engineering, history, and architecture. And of course, the dome and its contents are really well suited to astronomy, right? This is what you're used to seeing in dome theaters like this. And so we'll have an incredible array of astronomy programming opportunities that we'll have here. But also the theater is designed to be, as I mentioned, a cultural performance. And so the audio and visual capabilities of it will allow us to use that for really wonderful programming of a cultural sort that will continue our history of science, art, and community dialogue together. So expect visual, literary, performing, auditory, spoken arts, among others, when you come to the Earth and Sky Dome Theater as well. So the neat thing about this technology, much like Science on a Sphere that we have really celebrated, is that it connects us to a network of other centers across the world. This is an internationally rooted set of technology through a company called COSM, and it's called the Digistar system. And so we'll be able to network with others in the creation of programming, and have already started talking about reaching to other places to get to know them. So it's going to also allow us to have remote experts kind of coming into the community and teaching with us as well. The timeline, this is another rendering of it. The timeline of the construction is that we will close the building tomorrow. So this is it, folks. This is your last time in for a little while. And we're going to start construction the following day, on Friday, essentially. And then we are going to work to finish the project by the end of 2026. We're going to finish the envelope of the building by the end of 2026. After the envelope of the building is sealed, then we will install that dome theater. This dome, the fixtures, the equipment, the seats, all of those things will go in. We anticipate an opening to the public in spring, fall or summer of 2027. While we are in the demolition phase, and while we're doing some major electrical upgrades, working with MedEd, working with MedEd right now, we're doing some upgrades. We will be closed for a period of time. It's somewhat indefinite, but we know it will be several months. It may be through the end of this year. So once we close the doors tomorrow, we're going to be shut for a while and out of power. Our construction company will be here working, and as soon as we can get back in the building, we'll start notifying people. But our educators are going to be out on the road. We're taking NNC on the road, much like we did before at times when we couldn't be in the building. So expect to see us out in the community. Invite us to come to your events because we're going to really miss people. This is a very extroverted crowd here. So we're going to be very eager to be seeing people and welcoming our visitors back in as soon as we can. I have a missing slide. I have a missing thank you slide. I want to thank, and I won't take a long time, but this is a huge gift to our community. Much the way Science on a Sphere fell into Easton as a huge gift, and everybody said, how did we land one of these here? Again, this is an amazing opportunity for Easton. It connects us nationally and internationally, and it's really, in my mind, a recognition of what our community has done. Not just Nurture Nature Center, but everybody who has shown up to partner with us, everyone who's come to the programs, everyone who has cared enough about their community and their environment to do things like move forward with climate action plans and to take, to participate in sustainability certification programs for businesses. All of that response that this region has given allowed us to write a compelling proposal to the Economic Development Administration that says, if you build it, our community is going to show up and participate. So I feel like this is really an award for all of us. We felt the same way when we got this year, and I'm really grateful. So, and thank you to Nurture Nature Foundation, without whom we would not exist, and with whose continued generosity just continues to astound all of us, I think, and is making this all very, very possible. And thank you to the city, and to the county, and to all of the agencies that have helped us in the state along the way. There's been friends along the way helping to make this happen. We have a great professional team. I am just knocked out. Davis Construction is doing a fantastic job already. Digistar architects have been really fantastic. We have a construction management advisory firm called Pressa that is helping us learn the ropes of construction. You feel like you know it living around so much construction, but there's lots to learn. Engineers Barry Isaac and Associates. But we've also had the counsel of some of the most, I'll say, world's finest planetarium immersive dome theater experts in the planet. They happen to be a trio of Canadian gentlemen, Bill Peters and Ian McLennan, and Bill Chomick, who's an architect, who took us very seriously when we said we wanted to do this, and instantly flew down from Canada several times and have helped us with our organizational development, and very down to the details of what projector we're going to get, or what lumens we need. We have been really guided by some of the greatest minds. We're very fortunate to have that, so that when we open this in 2027, it's a magnificent success already. So we have launched a development campaign to help support this. As Jane said, the building and the equipment are funded. Programming is our next step, and we're going to need support for that. And we have a membership program that we just launched. We hired a development director, Kim Metz, who you all know, and are going to be talking with the community about how we all build this from here. So thank you very much. I'm happy to take any questions, Jane, or
time I've been here, and I wish I could be here every day, because as a former school teacher, I love this building because you come and you learn. And I think this is a perfect example. Jane talked about 2007, and I remember that very well. I was campaigning in 2007, and I said, what am I doing? Well, we changed Easton, and today we don't have the Niz like Allentown, we don't have the Criz like Bethlehem. We do it the old-fashioned way. We work hard. And we have a really group of volunteers and investors who are really working hard to make Easton a better place. We ran in 2007 on a clean and safe campaign, which was adopted by our ambassador program. But it's what it's all about. If you don't feel safe, you're not going to come down to the 500 block of Northampton Street, no matter what they have here. They can have all the beautiful AI things in the world. If you don't feel safe coming here at night, you're not going to come here. I was here a couple weeks ago for a youth climate summit. And let me tell you something. To see those young kids learn and feel good about their environment was really very successful. I really appreciate it. I've been to the bee program, which I knew bees were important, but I didn't know why they were important. I learned why they were important from the program that had their own bees, flowers and birds, and now I can go to the beyond. The frontier beyond, which is right there at the Earth and Sky Dome. I want to thank Rachel and her staff for helping the city with our climate action plan. It's very important. I mean, knock on wood, I haven't had a flood. I experienced a 4, 5, and 6 flood, but I wasn't mayor. And we haven't had any since 2008. And they helped us put together our flood campaign and what we would do in a flood. And I want to thank the staff that's here, from John Kingsley, who's our Director of Community and Economic Development, who helped write and get the $4 million for the grant from EDA, and Trevor, our grant administrator, and Claudia from the governor's office. I mean, everything in Easton. I may get the credit, but she did all the work. So we want to thank everybody for being here and doing this. I think what we found, in the 60s, people fled the cities, all cities, not just Easton, all cities. And so we lost our industry. They went out to the suburbs where they had acres and acres of land. We lost our car dealers. We lost everything in Easton. They all moved out of Easton. So we knew in 2008 that our real future depended on Easton becoming a destination city. And the State Theater was attracting 100,000 people a year, the Crayola experience, which at that time was the Crayola factory. And now this, and the hologram zoo. I mean, we are really on our way, and we went through several reiterations of this project. And Jane will remember those reiterations. And they included leaving this facility. But this facility is in downtown Easton. And so everybody who comes and visits the Sphere during the school groups will go downtown and have lunch and eat and maybe do some shopping. So we're very excited about making Easton a destination city. I know most people, the old people like myself, they can't imagine, why would anybody want to visit Easton? Well, they are. Over 1 million people a year. So we're very excited about that. And we want to thank everybody, especially Jane and her staff, and Rachel and her staff, for doing this. This is really, the science of the Sphere is amazing. I come here, I just look at that and wow, this is even going to be 10 times better than that. So we're very excited about it, and I want to thank everybody for being here today and for launching this. And I didn't realize you're starting tomorrow. That's great, thank you.
Often when I get to address assemblages like this, I talk about how Northampton County's future is green. And part of that is folks like the mayor, who have the kind of vision that the mayor has for Easton. And not only for Easton, but as he improves Easton, as the people who work for him, as the community comes together to improve Easton, it improves all of our lives. But when we think about our green future, we have to say thank you to Jane and Rachel. I mean, these are people who live the concept of our future being green. They are forward-thinking. They are forward-looking. This project is imaginative, and it is brave. It is a brave project, and I am so grateful to them for having done this. But let me get back to this concept of our future being green. So it means many different things. Of course, in Northampton County, we do a lot of things like preserve farmland and open space and environmentally sensitive land. As a matter of fact, this is the end of my second term, and by the time I'm done, we will have spent $25 million preserving environmentally sensitive land, open space, and farmland. And that money has been able to leverage tens of millions more dollars to preserve even more land. And one of the things that we talk about when we're doing this kind of conservation is the economic impact that it has on the county and on the greater Lehigh Valley. We are currently studying right now the economic effects of ecotourism on Northampton County and the greater Lehigh Valley. And by the end of this year, we will have a good idea of what that number is. And here's the thing. This project is going to be able to capture a considerable amount of that tourism and increase tourism, not only to Easton, but to the county and the valley at large. So when we say our future is green, we're not just talking about leafy green. We're talking about the green that goes in people's wallets. And why that is important is, one, it creates jobs. It creates good, family-sustaining, middle-class jobs, which we all claim to be about. And it does another thing. It helps us convince the wider world that what's going on here is important. Because in our world right now, we have a crisis. And that crisis is in education with respect to the climate crisis. Not enough people understand the difference between climate and weather, how climate affects weather, and how it all works together, including the anthropomorphic effects of the burning of fossil fuels that has caused climate change. People can come here and learn about those things. And as they learn about those things, they become more and more active as you move forward into the future. So I can't congratulate you enough. The county has been glad since at least 2015 to have provided over $200,000 in hotel tax grants to the Nurture Nature Center. And although I won't be in county government anymore, I firmly suspect what comes behind me will continue to be supportive of nature nurture in the future, because this is too cool not to. Thanks, everybody.
So yeah, push it down.
So, first of all, I just want to congratulate the City of Easton, the mayor, the county executive, and Carr. This is beyond imagination. When I told my daughters, both are studying at UPenn, getting their master's in environmental science, and I had said to them, hey, I'm going here, this is what they're doing. She's like, Mom, do you know the potential of what the city can bring to the Lehigh Valley? There is so much that can happen through world-class technology, world-class innovation, world-class education, that they can be the leaders. We don't have anything like this around here. And we're going to be bringing tourism into this, but it's going to have such an economic impact, but an educational footprint. And as the leaders of this magnificent type of technology, there's just so many new roads to plow and so many ways that we can go. And the vision of this program, as they're going to look for funding for education and for programming, that's where I'm really excited to roll up my sleeves and find out ways that we can help bridge that financial gap and make that economic impact. Because there's just so much more we can do. And actually, the sky is the limit. I feel like we might even be able to open up that dome and look up and say, what else can we do? Because that can happen here. With this exciting team, their heads just spin with all this new innovation that they want to bring. And Governor Shapiro is very focused on innovation, and this is something that fits right in with his education program. I'm very confident that together as a team, with the city, with the county, and with the governor's office, that we will be able to bridge that gap. And I'm very excited for everything that you're going to do, and congratulations from the bottom of my heart as a former school teacher. This is very exciting, and we have nothing but the future ahead of us, and I'm very excited to do it with you. Thank you so much.